This is Morrow, man. He knows every in and out of the game.
Yes, he does. And when it comes to early game aggression, he deals with it better than perhaps any other Zerg that I know of. So, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Sixjax DDE. He is in the Blue Trunks to the south of this particular map, and he is playing Terran versus his opponent. It's Mousesports Morrow in the Red Trunks. He is playing Zerg.
And I'm not sure if both players know exactly where they scout. I mean, the already position of the first Overlord tells me that, okay, I'm not sure if the TSL map, there's so many different types of each map that I'm not sure where exactly
this is this is no close ground. And
but it can be close by air.
Yes, it can be close by air, absolutely.
So why would Morrow send his Overlord that way? I mean, he's sending it already expecting him to be cross-map. So unless the TSL map is cross-position...
I was going to say, unless they meant no close spawns at all, which is a possibility, in which case, yes, he is scouting in the right direction. I guess that's what he meant there. And I don't usually see the TSL3 version of Metalopolis used outside of the TSL. It's mostly the MLG one, which I believe is no close by ground.
I mean, but if it was close by, if it is only cross position, I don't think Morrow would send his second Overlord this way either. So it might be just to deny that initial poke with the SCV to see that Overlord. I mean, there's two different ways to think about it, but it's not that important, I suppose. And
we're just talking to fill time right now. Things are being built, SCVs are mining minerals. It's unbelievable. I'm just totally floored by it.
And we can see DDE not taking gas. It looks like he is going to go for a 13 barracks here as well, with that 12-1 there. So we are going to see 2 racks aggression. And like we've talked about, this isn't necessarily the option you want to be doing against Morrow. You don't want to be thrown too much into this.
I mean, consider what we saw versus Select. Select went with not just the 2 racks, it was a Maca rack. So that was 1 hidden barracks in a proxy position. He then went with a triple bunker contain. And what happened?
Morrow
Nothing.
Cleaned it up.
Morrow annihilated it. And Select is one of the best aggressive Terran currently residing in the West. I don't think DDE can match up to that. Morrow's going to scout the 2 barracks immediately. He's going to be extremely prepared for this. So I don't know if this was the right choice at all.
Yeah, he immediately sends down a drone now to look for a place bunker already. He's going to scout that. The thing what DDE can fall back on if he knows how to play well against Morrow, he can just open with this, kill the drone, deny scouting, and then just get a really, really nice fast expansion up and a nice safe one. Followed by double gas to make sure he gets siege tanks up to deny any baneling busts or something like that. But I don't think he should invest. If he pulls off a lot of SCVs, it's going to be in a lot of trouble for sure. But he is continuing to build a bunch of SCVs, so it should be fine.
Yeah, I don't really see this being a really huge aggressive opening right here from DDE. I think he will, as you said, transition into a expansion at some point in the not too distant future. Morrow already sitting on an absolute ton of resources. He does have his spawning pool at 8 Zerglings in production plus a spine crawler, which should be, I would imagine, enough to hold this kind of pressure. DDE is going to open up with a bit of damage coming in. Wants to try and hurt the spine crawler, see if he can follow it up. The bunker is coming in. It's nicely positioned. I think he's going to get that as well by the looks of it. It is almost a completion.
But the problem is the bunker's so far away that Morrow won't care if he goes into that now. He'll run by like he's doing now to go kill reinforcements, and the spine crawl's almost done as well. The Ling is out as well, and the Queen is very close to finishing too. He should be fine.
Yeah, he evacuates himself to the bunker, and he's going to take a few Zerglings right there. Nice fallback position right there for DDE. And yes, while it wasn't close enough, it did complete, and it did give him a fallback position, which is perfect. He's already dealt a significant amount of damage to that spine crawler. Great Marine micro right here from DDE. More reinforcements coming in, and Morrow's Zerglings at the back actually just got cleaned up. This is looking to be a much better piece of bunker aggression than we might expect. The problem is, how do you deal with that spine crawler?
I mean, you can't. I mean, you can target fire it down, I think, well, if you pop out and go back into the bunker, but the thing is that the end of the Queen is building up energy as well. More Lings are coming, 12 Lings, and it should be cleaned up quite efficiently here.
Oh, we're going to find out. I mean, he's almost got that down to red, and he still has 5 Marines available. The attack is coming in. The SCV has been eliminated, which means that bunker is going to die. The spine crawler goes down. No, it doesn't. That was the Queen. Never mind. The spine crawler very close to going out. It's on 91 HP. He surely doesn't want to go in, though, against that many Zerglings. He's going back to his fallback position here, and it wasn't a big investment, I don't think, for DDE.
No, I mean, I think Morrow dealt with this horribly. I mean, we talked about how good Morrow is with defending against this stuff. This was actually not Morrow playing. I don't know if Show is playing on his account, LOL, because Show can't play Zerg, and I know that because I'm in his team. He's terrible. LOL. But the thing is that Morrow's overbuilt everything. He's overbuilt Lings and so on. And now look at the SCV count. I mean, it's 25 and mules versus 22 drones. And now look at this great position as well, maximizing damage.
Absolutely fantastic position there by DDE. He's going to clean these all up and take barely any losses. Perfect micro here from DDE as well. Brilliant stuff. And yeah, Morrow is behind now.
I know, he's not playing very well at all now, and we can see that the double gas has been added on. And look at this, DDE adding on 3 more barracks. He's not even going to bother to go for siege tanks or anything. He's going to be very, very aggressive with these.
Morrow's going for 12 more Zerglings. He has equalized the drone count, but he is still up against mules, and this second orbital command is almost complete. Be able to drop down another mule immediately and then move downwards. Admittedly, DDE is going to have to secure this base. It's a tricky base to defend on Metalopolis simply because of the size of it. If you don't have tanks, it's very difficult. So he's going to have to rely a lot on bunkers and eventually get this factory up. But of course, we have no siege tech yet. We don't have a tank up. And while he does have the gas to start off with both, this expansion could be vulnerable for a while. And Morrow might even look to try and deny it for a couple of seconds at least.
Morrow's trying to cut corners. You know, he hasn't taken gas yet, or he hasn't started his speed upgrade even. And look at he's now only just doing so, getting enough gas income to start that very, very shortly. But the problem is he's now building more Lings. The drone count 42 is relatively good, but the fact is he has no scanning information. The Expo has been put down now, and that was a siege tank. And I did get confused with that. I thought it was a third barracks, but it is a factory. Sorry, not siege tank. Getting even more confused. And we have a reactor on it. Will be switched up, and we will be seeing some aggressive drops very, very shortly here. And another 10 drones being added on. Will be up to 52 shortly. He needs a third base up, but more importantly, he needs to start speed.
Yes, he does. He has no mobility, no scouting ability, really, simply due to the lack of speed. And if any kind of aggressive play were to come in right now, even with, say, Hellions or something along those lines, he has very little to stop it. He doesn't have speed, and as a result, he can't intercept.
Well, the reason why he hasn't got speed is because if he does, it's just going to throw his layer timing back even more, and he needs to get that up. He needs to stop Mulus production because he needs a form of harassment so he can actually pull himself back slowly but surely. So he has to get that up. He's now started speed. He's going in, scouting out that, does he actually get he's going to get the timing of the factory as well and see that it's known in just now beginning. And we do have a couple of medivacs on their way soon. Third base has been taken, and that's the problem too with this style. We saw it a lot in the early stages when he was playing against Select, is if he grabs a third base before he starts the Spire, he's very, very, well, he puts himself in a lot of danger to a lot of multitasking drops.
Yes, he does. And DDE now swapping himself around. We've got those 2 medivacs out. The drop play is coming. We do have a upgrade right here for the Terran infantry weapon. Stimpak's on its way. Looks like it will be actually a timing push as opposed to a drop. This third base is most likely the target. Morrow does not... Never mind, he actually now has 35 Zerglings. So will it be enough to clean it up? I mean, is that the entire Marine force? It's not.
But he doesn't want to bring, he just wants to force more units to be made for sure. And if a million Zerglings do come, DDE is going to take his hat off, he's going to giggle, put the Marines back in his medivac, and then just fly away nice and safe. But he is forcing, look, in the production tab, a million units coming out instead.
Yeah, we have to now point out that a million might not actually be accurate, but there are now Banelings in the mix for Morrow as well, so this attack is going to be a little bit riskier than you might think. The Baneling has been detonated, second one shot off, third one, and... minimized damage completely right there by DDE. However, I would think that Morrow should be able to clean this up. Although, that said, where are those Zerglings? He was actually too busy making them into Banelings to go in for an attack. Some damage is being done here. The Banelings crash through it, and that is that. But I have to wonder just how economical that really was for Morrow.
I mean, it wasn't... both of them played that scenario kind of bad, I feel. DDE didn't maximize damage. He did a lot of damage forcing units to be made, but I feel that he should have just pulled out rather than losing all that, because now his Marine count is very, very low. And he can't follow that push-up with anything, really. He has to wait a lot. He can't grab a third base because of that. And unfortunately for him, he's got, oh, look at the Marines now. Because of that, look at the Marine count. He's going to push out with very, very minimal now. And I'm looking at the production tab. We only have one Mulus actually out because he was forced to do so many Mulus. And there is a drop in the main base now, and it is getting cleaned up just by some simple banelings here.
Yeah, but that's wasted banelings. I mean, one baneling per Marine is a terrible ratio, and he's also forcing the entire army of Morrow to move away there. There's a few banelings right here, but I would think tank deployment will clean that up very quickly, assuming that Morrow doesn't see it. The creep spread is not great. He's going to have to respond to this immediately. There's the scan, and a good positioning right here with the tanks as well, and it'll be difficult to pick those off, particularly with no Mutalisks.
Yeah, and there's a big hit on them Lings already. They don't have any upgrades, so they are going to die very, very fast to these siege tanks. And I mean, +1 there. And now 26 Lings are in production. He can tank a bit of damage on this hatchery for a little while he gets this Ling count up, but still, the siege tank in great position on that lower ground.
Yeah, it's looking nice. DDE is going to have to reinforce it. Admittedly, his Marine count at the front is not as high as I would want it to be. He's going for it anyway, running straight into that line, and lots of banelings detonating. The second wave will crash through it, however, and this detonation is nasty. Brilliant spread by DDE on those Marines, however. One tank remains alive as well, and now looking to try and put this hatchery into the ground, and it looks like he'll be able to clean it up.
Kills in that hatchery is almost game-winning. I mean, that is great. Throwing Morrow down to 2 bases.
Oh, denying
fantastic.
At least one baneling there as well. Not too bad. Admittedly, he did sacrifice a couple of Marines that were eaten alive by the Broodlings in order to do it, so I don't know if that was worthwhile, but hey, why not? And Morrow now stuck on 2 bases, which is a situation you never want to be in as a Zerg player.
I mean, the reason why you don't want to be in it, because if you look at the minerals to gas balance right now, 200 gas, he just doesn't have the gas income to keep up the Mulus count, to keep up the baneling count for upgrades and so on. And because of that, we only have +1 melee attack. We don't have anything else. On the Mutalist, we don't have +1 because he can't afford to do so. And now he's going to scramble to get that 3rd base up. Morrow needs to take some risk and take a 4th base as well.
Yeah, there you go. There's the risk.
It.
No doubt about that one. And the question is, will DDE, 1, know that it's there, think that it's worth attacking, and 2, will he have the force that he needs to push out? And I think he does. I mean, he's sitting on 4 tanks. He does have these +1/+1 Marines, which is absolutely ideal, considering the large number of Zerglings that are on the field right here for Morrow. So it's good upgrades against that. Admittedly, if he turns them all into Banelings, that's going to get very messy very fast for DDE. The scouting coverage right here is not so great for Morrow. It's not as good as I personally would have wanted it to be, and now moving through, and we're looking to try and take the gold base, which he will be able to do, honestly. He's got the forces he needs to secure that area.
Yeah, and more importantly, I think that Morrow doesn't have anything to stop him either, so there is a bit of a counterattack here, taking SCV, supply depot. Marines are stimming though, to try and get rid of this ASAP. Yeah,
should be able to clean that up without too much of a problem. The SCV was taken out, but hey, that's not exactly what I call a large loss, and the Mutalist count is still nowhere near what I would call a critical mass. It's not even close.
And that's all, the situation we're looking at now in this game is all because of how Morrow didn't deal so well with that early bunker rush, and it put him so far behind. And, you know, it's not looking too good for him right now, I'm going to be honest. And these overlords are moving out. He's trying to morph in as many banelings as possible to deal with this. But there are 4 siege tanks now with +1 as well.
Good scans as well. Very, very effective. Able to clean up a large number of creatures. Admittedly didn't take the linchpin right there, which would have given him a great benefit. Morrow just threw away 2 overlords, as well as now supply blocked. And there are no more overlords in production. He's going to crash into the front line of the siege tanks, however. And that's a lot of banelings. He couldn't hold up against that kind of aggression.
And that was a pretty sexy split, if I'm going to be honest there. That was awesome. The reinforcements will be able to clean this up, though. But the matter of the game is that the gold base is still up and running, which means the Marine barracks, the lights do not turn off. They got electricity for life.
Yes, that's going to be nice. The resource count is getting to a good point for DDE right now. I would like to perhaps see some drop harassment here from DDE. He does have a medevac in position to do just that. We'll have a look and see that DDE has killed a significant number of workers already. And once again, another deployment of siege tanks taking its toll right here on the forces of Morrow. We could see another drop from DDE at the top any moment now. Try and keep an eye on that one. DDE holding the left flank quite nicely. easily.
The problem is Morrow's expanding it. It looks great on the minimap for everybody at home right now, but the thing is he still hasn't taken gas from the third base, from the fourth base, so basically they're rendered useless. They may as well not be there. Now Morrow realizes he's going to take the gas himself. At the same time, we do have an attack on this fourth base. It may even go down.
That's a lot of firepower raining down, in fact, on that hatchery. The Banelings move in, however, they take a massive shelling and a second deployment there. Here's the drop up to the top as he annihilates this mineral line. A couple of Banelings moving in to crash through it. DDE loses that entire drop simply because he wasn't focusing on it. He's more interested in killing this hatchery, and he takes it out. So that's the fourth base of Morrow annihilated. And once again, DDE securing this left flank entirely.
And DDD has
You will never get that right.
No, man.
It's just
so
not going to happen.
It's like mana versus mana all over again.
Oh, no.
And,
Nama mana, yeah.
that's
Why
crazy.
would you do this?
And we do have like a fifth orbital command, a sixth orbital command. We have so many orbital commands just everywhere. Can pick up, expand wherever he may wish to do so. And look at this, a desperate attack from Morrow.
He just threw away a huge number of Banelings to kill a single siege tank, and that was not what I would call efficient. And right now, he needs to be. DDE has got him in terms of his economy. His army is much, much larger. He has complete map control. Morrow's never had enough Mutalisks to really do anything. He can take one siege tank here with the Marines, easily cleaning them up for the second wave. It's 2-2 now on the Marines, plus 3 upgrade coming in, almost complete as well.
And just so many barracks right now. There's, how many is on the natural? There's like 6, 7 on the natural, 5 in the main base. Just lights on, lights on.
Missile turret as well. Very, very nice placement. Not only will that help against the mutas, it'll give him some great vision of the creep tumors. If he can push that creep back, he's going to be even more secure on this left flank. Once again, Zerglings charging in and all annihilated before they can do anything. The Banelings crash through the right flank of that siege tank force, taking 2. However, DDE is still in a brilliant position. He is not worried at all. Now raining it down on this third base, and most likely will be able to take it if he can bring it down before those Banelings come out. Going to look to try and pick off a few, and he does so very effectively. In they come. DDE forgetting to move out there, but the rest of his forces do get out. So he's still able to pile the pressure on, and no doubt more units coming in behind this.
And Morrow will never say never. He wants to wear down DDE as much as possible. Morrow realizes he's lost the game by a long shot, but he's going to stay until the very end to wear down DDE as much as possible. Morrow does play so much that this is only going to benefit himself.
Yeah, it's a
here.
war of attrition. You're thinking this is a best-of-5 series. You don't treat this as an individual match. You treat this as, look, we play for as long as possible. DDE is less experienced than Morrow in a tournament environment, but GG, ladies and gentlemen, he knows he lost it right there, and it's one apiece in this best-of-5 series.